They say that the wolf on top of the hill is not as hungry as the wolf climbing the hill. On our journey to the top, in our efforts to manifest what we want, as we move towards success, there is a cycle. 3 things that are often overlooked, neglected, and oftentimes avoided. This is one of the most important concepts that you will have to understand, that is vital to your success in whatever you pursue. It is essential to the process of taking whatever image you have in your head and putting it in your hands. For some of you, this may be a hard pill to swallow, but once you realize and know it to be the truth, you will be able to cycle through to success each time. Those 3 things are failure, letting go, and moving on. You see, most people hear that and they think, well, I know of these things all too well. What do I need to know about failure, letting go, and moving on? And the answer to that is, instead of trying to avoid going through that cycle, you should be actively seeking it. The fact that you are listening to this right now means that you woke up this morning, which means that you still have a purpose here. It means that God still has something for you to do. It is not over yet for you. And so listen, you don't want to be the wolf at the top of the hill. You want to be the wolf always climbing the hill, because you always want to have that hunger. It is the difference between the wolf who makes it to the top of the hill and the wolf who makes it to the top of the hill, then decides to climb the mountain. In this cycle of failure, letting go, moving on, when you are using the law of attraction to manifest your desires, when you are creating your future, when you are moving towards a certain goal, after you place an order to the universe for what you want, even if that means praying to God for what you want, once you start to take action, you must understand the importance of failure. You fail to succeed. If you are not failing, you're probably not doing enough. A person not getting what they want in life, a person who does not succeed, did not succeed because they failed. They did not succeed because they gave up. They quit. So, even if you feel that you are at a point of failure, remember, this is part of the process. When it comes to learning a new skill, you already know that you can't stop at one failure. You have to keep going. Failure after failure. When you are resolved in the beginning, you will not be perplexed. You should expect multiple failures before you succeed. It is the 4 levels of competence, right? Unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. Failure is just you finding out what did not work. But don't confuse failure with loss. Some people confuse failure with loss. Loss is just something that occurs as a result of failure. And it is not so much about the thing that you lose than the experience that you gain. I recall Will Smith saying something one time like, You want to fail forward, and that failure is where all the lessons are at. I am sure you find this to be true in your own life. Be careful here. Sometimes people think that when they are facing failure or when they have failed, that they have chosen the wrong path, and it is no longer about the mistake they have made. Mysticism kicks in and they start to blame circumstances, people, and events. Oh, if only my boss did this, I would have that promotion. Oh, if only this person didn't drink. Oh, if only this person didn't smoke. Oh, if only this person was a little taller. Oh, if only this person was a better communicator. Oh, if only this person liked sports. Oh, if only, if only. Stop telling yourself lies. You don't know what you don't know. This is what the conscious incompetence phase is all about. You become aware of what you didn't know. And now there is a problem. All of a sudden. And remember, I said once before that this is the phase where most people quit. Right after they fail. How many of you have quit your job because one day you couldn't do your job? You failed and it cost someone else. And so you quit. You see, what tends to happen with people is that they become afraid to fail. And the idea behind this is that they think being afraid to fail will actually keep them from failing. This is how people get into their comfort zones, because it's safe from failure. Or so they think. See, the truth of the matter is, this is exactly how people end up getting stuck. They've stalled the process. They are too busy avoiding failure. You know, one of the ways we avoid failure, we develop backup plans, right? We think, oh, if plan A doesn't work out, I'll just go with plan B. But what you've told the universe is that you've already settled on plan B and have pushed plan A away. You see, we don't move in a straight line toward our goal. You could go and look at any YouTuber's analytics. You can look at that little line graph, and it's not a straight line to the top. It's a roller coaster. Up and down, up and down. That's not instability. That's life when you are climbing the mountain. Sometimes there are trees and rocks in the way. You have to move around them. Sometimes your path is blocked and you have to go back down the mountain a little bit so you can try climbing up another side. Failure is what you need as your stepping stone to success. It is not an indicator for you to quit. It is an indicator that you are getting closer to your objective. You know, most people quit just inches away from success. Many people quit when they are almost there. Successful people fail way more than they succeed. In life, people who get the most yeses in life get the most no's. Listen, I fail constantly. When first starting YouTube, I had to fail several times before figuring it out. And I still don't have it down pat. I remember being in the dojo when I was younger, practicing, trying to perfect just one technique. It wasn't till I tried that technique in a tournament where I realized what I failed to do. I went back, learned from what I did wrong. I didn't switch techniques or quit competing. I went back into the ring and won. I kept winning. Because each time I would go back and fix what I was doing wrong. It's called training. I was always getting it. I'm still getting it. And you see, you never get it. You're always getting it. Which brings us to the next element in this, and that is dealing with the loss and letting go. I think most of you have heard this before, but let me remind you of this important message. I have heard this message many times before, but it goes something like, when people want to walk away from you, let them walk. I want you to stop begging people to call you. Stop begging people to text you. Stop begging people to like your post and send you hearts. Stop begging people to stay with you, to love you, to come see you, to play with you, to validate you. If someone is fading from your life, let them go. It doesn't matter if they are nice or what you imagine them to be. It doesn't matter if you miss their touch or their cooking. It doesn't matter if they showed up on time or like the same music you like or play the same games you play or watch the same movies you watch. If someone is removed from your life, whether you did the walking or they did, stop trying to get people to do what they don't want to do or stay where they don't want to stay. Let them go. You have to. Because your future, your dreams and goals are not dependent upon if that person is there or not. They're not. And so what you have to do is you have to recognize and know when it's over. You have to understand that this person has served their purpose and that chapter has come to a close. Some people are in our lives for a reason. Some people are in our lives for a season. Everybody is looking for someone to be who they imagine them to be. God has already in place a line of people who He is going to put into your life. Some of them are going to get you from point A to point B. Some are going to remind you about what you forgot. When people come into your life or are taken out of your life, that's not an accident. There is a purpose. There is a reason. But you have to know when it's done. You have to know your life is not conditioned on the basis of that person's presence in your life. You have to know that once they are gone for a reason. God knew what this person did when you weren't watching. He knew what they said when you weren't listening. And now God has made the changes you weren't ready to make. It was a temporary situation that you tried to make permanent. God didn't want that for you. You didn't want that for you. And I know once you feel something slipping out of your hands, you try to clutch onto it harder. I understand once one door closes, another opens, and God doesn't close doors on you before He's opened another one for you first. So when I fail, and when I lose something or someone, I have to thank God for saving me. I have to thank God for saving them. And if a person walks out of your life, if someone is removed from your plan, bless them for teaching you that lesson. Bless them for showing you what you do and don't want in your life. There are too many people hanging on to people who ain't hanging on. Let them go. You didn't get that new job or that promotion. Maybe you lost the job you had. Let it go. That is a shift that occurs when you start telling the universe what you want. Things start to shift around you. And you have to be ready to receive what you are asking for. Some of you want certain things in your life, but you're not quite ready to receive it. And so things go bad when you do. Something was delivered to you, and because you weren't ready to receive it, it was sent back. After you have failed, after you have experienced loss, once you let go of your losses, this is the twist to help complete the cycle. You must move on. You can't be letting go as you are moving on. You must let go first, then move on because of what comes after. There are two parts to moving on. One is blame, and the other is forgiveness. It is way too easy to blame others that wronged us. It's the if only syndrome. If only they hadn't done this, I would have succeeded. If only they hadn't gotten into trouble, I would have more money. If only. And the more you blame them for what they did and don't blame yourself for what you didn't do, you are still holding on. Forgiveness is accepting that something has happened to you and you have let go of what you thought could have been or what something once was. And you have accepted what is. Moving on means you're not cheating on your future with your past, and you have recognized that you must continue on your journey with or without what you have lost. And sometimes this comes down to something that many people don't want to face, and that is being alone. Everybody's got to have somebody, when some of us need to be by ourselves. You must follow your own path, not your parents' path, not your friend's path, not your lover's path, not some guru's path, not my path. You need to follow your own path and embrace being alone so that you may develop a relationship with yourself. People who walk alone have the strongest direction and the most solid of goals and dreams, because there is no one to please, answer to, or impress but themselves. It is the one way to truly become who you truly are meant to be. There's a fourth element to all of this, one that completes the cycle here, and that is to succeed. Once you have failed, let go, and moved on, you are moving on to greater success. You have climbed over the fence. You are moving forward when you haven't given up and have overcome the challenges that you face. You are made in the image of God, and you have the strength and ability to achieve that success that you seek. It is through failure, letting go, and moving on that you succeed and get what you want in life. You can't cheat this system. You can't work your way around it. It is a system that is natural and that you must understand in order to spiral up instead of down. So that you understand that what is happening to you is essential to manifesting what you desire. You don't need to know how something is happening. You just need to remember why. We are all going through things in our lives, especially these days. Some of you are experiencing failures and losses at this time. Know that these things are temporary. And if you stay focused and get back on the horse, you'll lose the hope and discover destiny. Fail, let go, move on, succeed. There is more to come. Sometimes these reminders of what we need to do and what we need to focus on helps to stabilize our environment we are creating around us, and helps us to increase our likelihood of succeeding. God bless everyone. Stay focused, stay awake, stay aware, stay safe. And I'll talk to you all soon.